Welcome everyone to the most awaited episode, which is BBA with NMIMS. Okay, one of the most preferred universities and the preferred programs with the university. This particular episode will definitely give you an insight why it is preferred when it comes to internships, pedagogy, the kind of curriculum. Okay, it will give you an insight which will definitely help you to decide better and know why NMIMS is the best.
Welcome everyone to our series, the IMS series, which is called the Campus Insider. Today we would be talking or we would be discussing everything about one of the preferred program with the NMIMS University and the preferred campus, which is BBA at Mumbai campus. Okay. And today, to make sure you get a complete perspective of how the program is delivered and what exactly a student's, how life affects the student post the program, I have Krupa Patil with me, okay, who is a second year student of NMIMS BBA, pursuing BBA with Mumbai campus. And I have an alumni with me, Ashka Thakkar, okay, who is also pursuing her MBA. So you would get a complete circle of what exactly the program offers, and what happens post that. So Krupa and Ashka, please switch on your cameras.
Hello everyone. It's so nice to see you all.
Hi guys, hi everybody.
So starting here with the senior, okay, Ashka, can you please introduce yourself to the student?
Sure. So, hi guys, I'm Ashka Thakkar and I am from Gujarat and I did my BBA from NMIMS Mumbai. I'm a COVID batch. So, I spent 1.5 year online and 1.5 year in NMIMS campus. And currently, I'm doing my MBA from NMIMS. I passed out BBA NMIMS in 2023 and I'm currently in my second year of MBA from the glass building MBA. And I did my specialization in BBA final year was finance, and I'm also doing my MBA in finance currently.
Fantastic. So you're doing your MBA in finance. I
Yeah.
am sure a lot of students who are finance enthusiasts would have questions, but we are going to stick to the NMIMS BBA today. All right. Control those questions. And we have Krupa Patil. Krupa, can you please introduce yourself to my students?
Sure. So I'm Krupa and I'm in second year BBA this year. And I stay in Thane, not Mumbai. I stay in Thane. And so I actually had I tried for Symbiosis, Xavier's and other exams, but as soon as I got to know that I got an NMIMS, I literally stopped looking for all other results because this was my priority. And yes, that's pretty much about me.
Okay. Okay. All right. So now, as we kind of got the introduction from Krupa and Ashka. You are in second year, Ashka. You are right now doing your MBA. Okay, so Krupa, starting with you. When you were, as you said that when you were starting with your the journey where you start understanding which college you want to go for, what were your options apart from Symbiosis, apart from Christ? What other options you had?
Uh, like uh, like if you're asking me for BBA, so about me, I was pretty clear from like 11, 12 only that I wanted to, do BBA, MBA, something in marketing because so marketing will be my specialization. So I was very clear that I want to do something in these fields. So then I started looking for options that which colleges are good, which colleges are best. So that's where I started looking for NMIMS, Symbiosis, Xavier, these colleges. And then I mean, these were only my preferences. I didn't wanted to go for any like Mumbai University colleges or like anything of this sorts because obviously these colleges offer you a certain type of exposure and they give you what we say as quality education. Like that is one thing which I realized, and the difference between the uh like the university colleges and the difference between these colleges, like the private university and the government university colleges. So the crowd which is there, the exposure which we get here, and the kind of education, the faculty really makes a difference in our lives.
Okay, that is pretty clear, with the kind of preferred, the way the university is preferred. Ashka, coming from your perspective, okay, if you look at the UG, if you look at the BBA as a course, okay, do you feel that the decision you took 4 years back of picking up NMIMS BBA, has it helped you in any way?
For sure. So actually, I also knew that I wanted to do my MBA right after my undergrad. So I was preparing for IIM Indore. I gave my IPMAT. I did not clear my IPMAT. Other than that, I got into almost all the colleges, including NMIMS, IIM Rohtak, Simli, Christ, all of those. And I also got into NIRMA, which is also a 5-year program.
IPM program,
So
yes.
my parents were like, why don't you? And then I was in Ahmedabad. I'm from Ahmedabad. So my parents were like, why don't you stay in Ahmedabad? You'll prepare for CAT. That's eventually what you want to do. It'll
Yes.
be better if you're staying home. But I was very hell bent on coming to NMIMS. A, because Mumbai, why not? And of course, it's a better college than Nirma any day. So, in terms of a lot of things, in terms of the exposure that you get from all over the country. So, now that I look back, NMIMS was a very right decision. Sometimes, because it gave me a lot of networking opportunity. I think a lot of people might not realize that right now, because they've not been exposed to such things. But there are people coming from all over the nation. So currently, if I want to go to any city, I know I have one undergrad friend there, and I know I'll get to stay at their place, and I don't have to, book hotels. But yeah, that uh, keeping aside, it does give you a lot of networking opportunities. Secondly, the faculties are top notch any day. Of NMIMS, they've helped me. So currently in my MBA, when I talk about either finance or marketing, I think people who passed out from NMIMS know way better than even people who have, 2-3 years of experience in the fields. So NMIMS does give you, they have their syllabus in such a way that they give you that edge over other people. So definitely a plus point. Only one thing about NMIMS is the campus life, because they don't really have a campus, they have buildings. But I guess it's all kind of worth it in the end. So yeah.
Absolutely. All's well that ends well. So if they don't, yeah, so a lot of you would not know or would know that NMIMS as a university doesn't really have a campus as such, but definitely it kind of, the kind of quality education and the other things which the university provides, it kind of overpowers that campus aspect. But let's get back to the admission process. Okay. Krupa, when it comes to your admission, so once you are done with your admission and you kind of get into the study mode, is first year completely different in terms of study, because you are in 11th and 12th, you are doing, your the learning is very different. So is it the same thing where you kind of move to a rote learning? That's what students tend to do in 11th and 12th, right? There's a lot of rote learning, concept learning बहुत कम हो जाता है. A lot of students complain. Is it something similar with NMIMS, or you find academic wise the learning method is different?
Okay, so like for me at least, and I guess for everyone, like the people who are traveling, who are like coming from faraway places, it's a major shift because till 12 we are in kind of a shell. We are protected. We are not really exposed to the world and to so many other people. But when you come here, you get exposed to so many things, and at every point you feel there is so much to do. Like next day you'll have your presentation, you'll have your club meetings, you'll have your exam, you'll have your midterms coming. Like there are so many things going on at the same time, you don't really get the time to process all of the things, especially in the first semester. things happen so quickly, and you just need time to get hang of it. Like once you start processing something, there is something new coming up, so you don't get really time to process everything. But i guess I guess that is the fun, that is the that prepares you for the bigger, the real world ahead, the corporate life. And the course here, the subjects taught, and the course that the things taught in the subject are really rigorous. Like it's not a cakewalk. You have to really put on a lot of efforts into learning that. And as you said about rote learning and concept learning, that is a major difference. Like till 12th, we are so used to just doing what is given to us. Like, for example, if there is a textbook, then we are so used to just using a textbook as a resource and then learning from it. But when you come here, you like the paper is also case based. Like it is a very practical paper. Like you don't have to mug up things and just write whatever is given to you. You have to do your somewhere kind of your research. You have to refer to multiple resources and then formulate your own answers. And as I said, the examination is case based. Like almost all the papers are case based questions. So you get a practical approach to things, like the things which we learn in theory and how they're applied in real world, like how the corporate industry uses this concept, or how are these concepts used in the practical world. So you somewhere get the how things work in real. Like we always used to say that we are learning this, but it's of no use. It's not going to be useful to us in the future. But here we actually get to know that how are these things used in our future, and and it actually gives you better clarity of the concept as well. So there is actually no rote learning. You just have to get the hang of the concept, and you're well to do in examinations. And the professors also don't teach here with the aspect of examinations only. Like this is going to come in exams, so just learn this. It's never like that. It's always about the concept and how it is used in industries, how it has been used. There are discussions in the class. There are case discussions, like if there is some company who has already used it, there are those there are that discussion happens in the class. So it's majorly like this. There is a difference between how we used to learn till 12th and how are we going to approach things and approach the study methodology now onwards, like the first year onwards.
Okay. So what I could pick it up from you, Kripa, is the fact that the study, the way the delivery of the program is done, it is done on a practical method. Uh,
Yeah.
Whatever you learn is taught to you in a way where you would be able to, use it in the practical world, in when you start working, or when you are ready for the in the workforce. Uh, Tell me something, Ashka. This question would be for you. Has it really helped with the academic? Now you are on the other side of the fence. Okay. Uh, do you felt that it prepared you? Because what she's saying is being a student of an NMIMS, university. With the other side of the fence, where you have experienced everything, where you felt the first year, yes, it helped.
For sure, as I mentioned earlier, that NMIMS syllabus is a little advanced if you see as compared to other undergraduate colleges. So, for me, when I see today, a lot of the things that I was taught in my second and third year, first year, people will find it very similar to what we did in, in 11th or 12th. A lot of similarities, but at the same time, when you move on to your second, third year, the syllabus is very advanced. So 100, so definitely there are certain things that when I look back upon are helping me in my MBA, as well as I did a few internships in a lot of corporates. So it definitely has helped me there. So academically, 110%, there is an edge there. The advanced syllabus helps for sure. And secondly, not just academically, but how you approach things, situations, and there's a huge shift in personalities when you come out of the third year of NMIMS. Because NMIMS, as Krupa mentioned, that is rigorous, definitely. That, and you know how to manage your time. You're, you are a business student once you get out of third year NMIMS. So it definitely does help academically as well as in improving your personality.
Okay, noted. And with this, I want to understand when it comes to academics as concerned. There's somebody who has asked this particular question as well. Are there any visiting faculty? Krupa, you being the current student of NMIMS, do you have visiting faculty with
Yes,
NMIMS for
yes,
BBA?
I do. Like now, even now for this sem, I guess I have two visiting faculties for two subjects. And to be honest, their approach or their perspective of teaching is a bit different, and it's refreshing, to be honest. Like, getting to know things beyond what is there in your course outline. They also somewhere tell their experience that when I was in this in this company, then this is things happened with me. So that is, visiting faculties are there for like I guess they are like for me, visiting faculties were in all the three semesters up till now.
Okay,
So,
okay.
and another question which I just read is, what is visiting faculty? So visiting faculty are the other professors who come from the industry. They are not permanently employed at NMIMS. They just come for a particular period of time.
Right. So, just to kind of give a little bit more addition to that, a visiting faculty would be a person, a professional, a person who is from, for example, from the business field itself, who is going to come and who will kind of pick up a topic and give you information, or would kind of address a certain topic for you, which would be a part of your syllabus, or would be kind of contrasting, or would be kind of give you more information. Okay, so that's what visiting faculty is. I hope that clears the question. Now, as you said, Kripa, we were talking about the visiting faculty, and you mentioned that there are definitely visiting faculty. There's something which also in the academics, I think students would want to understand that how exactly the examination works. The professors are there; they are very helpful with what exactly you both communicated to me. How exactly are the semesters done? Is it quarterly? Is it 6 monthly? How does it work?
Okay, so there are three years. It's not a 4 year program. It's a 3 year program, and there are 6 semesters. So 2 semester per year. So it works half yearly. So your first semester of first like the first sem will end in December, and your second sem will end in May. So there are two examinations of 2 semesters. And so the breakup basically of 100 marks is 50 marks. You have your end term examinations of every subject. There are 6 subjects, and 50 marks is for the internals. So the internals go throughout your semester. There are 10 marks ICAs, there are 10 marks for presentation, there are 20 marks for midterm examination. So the breakup of 50 marks goes throughout the semester, and the end term examination, the written paper for 50 marks, is during the end of the semester. So that's the breakup.
That's the breakup. Okay. So I hope that kind of clears, for all of you in terms of how exactly the NMIMS examination works. Now let's take up certain questions. Okay. How much is the fees of BBA, and is it worth to do BBA from NM? I think, Mehak, we are referring to NMIMS. I think the second part of the question, Ashka have answered very beautifully. You have a live example there as a student who's an alumni. Okay. But what is the fees? Okay, Ashka, Krupa, what is the fees? Would you be able to help the students?
So the fees is 3.5 lakh per annum. 3.5 lakh per annum. So yes, and I guess it's fluctuating. Sometimes it's 3.25, sometimes it's 3.60, but it's somewhere 3.5 around only.
So
First
basically,
year.
for 3 years, if you are spending your time with NMIMS, in 3 years, you will tend to spend around 11 to 12 lakhs at a max. That's what you end up spending with NMIMS. Okay.
Yes.
Entrance exam is objective based or theoretical. Krupa, NPAT is objective or theoretical?
So NPAT is basically divided in three sections: the verbal, logical, and cons. It is MCQ based examination, though the question of being subjective or theoretical doesn't really appear. It's MCQ and it's very logic based question, or how much faster you're able to tackle the particular situation. So that is it. Theoretical though, like what theory can be asked in MCQs? It's
So
basically verbal, logical, and cons, maths. What you have learned till your 12th standard.
NPAT paper is nothing but kaun banega crorepati. It's MCQ. Bad joke. Very bad joke, very bad joke. Okay, but it's MCQ based. Okay, so there is no theory. Ashka, very important question for you. Is any advantage or benefit or preference in MBA from NMIMS if we do BBA from NMIMS?
No. So you have to get a certain GPA in your undergraduate. You have to clear your NMAT. You have to clear your interview. Then there's another exam. You have to clear all of that, go through the normal process for any college, for any MBA, including NMIMS.
There is nothing, no shortcuts,
No
very
short.
clearly. There are no shortcuts. And you guys will have to absorb it right now when, when it is being told to you. From here on, once you clear your 12th, there will be entrance exam, there will be interviews, there will be steps what you will have to take to make sure you reach where you're looking at. So kursi ki pet ya bandh lijiye and be prepared. Make sure that you're working towards your goal. Okay. Uh, I have a lot of questions. Let's take up questions. Uh, what are the day-to-day challenges at NMIMS? Krupa, if you would like to possibly take up this particular question on a normal campus life basis or academics basis, what are the day-to-day challenges do you face?
Okay, so one major challenge, and I think that pretty much sums up all the challenges, is your time management. Or rather, I would say, as I previously mentioned, there are a lot of things going on simultaneously. So you really have to schedule and plan your whole day. So as I mentioned, and as you join NMIMS, you will be part of a lot of clubs, the clubs in the college, and you have to work in the clubs. It's not like you just enroll and sit. You have to actually put in your efforts, and I guess that is what enhances your college experience. So there are club meetings, there are work which has to be done for that. There are your ICAs, as I told you, the 50 marks that the 50 marks are being evaluated throughout your semester.
Oh, looks like Krupa had a network issue.
I think I can,
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead,
answer
Ashka.
so as she was mentioning that you need to manage your time accordingly. So there are certain aspects to it. First being your college academics, that is you need to do what you're studying, prepare for exams. A. Second, there are certain internal components, which means that internally, except for your exams, you'll be marked on certain projects that you'll need to submit for specific subjects, as well as there are certain marks given to how much you participate in the class. The allocation is different for every subject. So those are the internal components. And third being, so there are different clubs and societies that are there in the college. They would be your college fest. It could be your sports committee. It could be your drama club, all of those clubs. So if you enroll in what you're interested in, then you also need to work after hours. Hours of the college are fixed. You need to work after hours. Uh, for those clubs, you organize events, you participate in different events. So that's how it works. So a typical day is how that goes. But there might be extra workload sometimes, and sometimes you'll be free on weekends and you can, go out with your friends and everything. I
Okay.
think 50 to 100. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yes,
got disconnected.
no problem, Ashka. The answer was kind of covered by Ashka. However, if you would possibly want to add something, you can definitely go on.
Okay, so like as Ashka already mentioned about, there are a lot of things, about your study as well as your club meetings and everything. And it's not like you only have one thing at a particular time. Like you only have a presentation tomorrow. You have a presentation, you have an another subject, ICA or something, as well as you have something other to do in during your day. And that is one thing. But other thing which I would really like to add and address is your challenges which you face in your personal life. It's your first year when you're away from your family, or when you're exposed to certain crowds, you also face a lot of personal challenges. It may be regarding your friends, your family. You might be, it might be difficult for you to make friends at first go. There are some problems with certain people you face, and the feeling of being alone in a new city. So there are a lot of personal things which you undergo. So managing your personal, like keeping aside your personal problems and then focusing, is also a challenge which I think is usually happens. So yes.
Absolutely. I think that's very well covered, Ashka. Uh, the first year of your degree college is a year when you kind of get the taste of being, kind of growing up. And that is the year where you kind of realize that, a lot is there, responsibilities kind of increasing. So, yes, it would be a little overwhelming, but the idea is to, just to hang on the way both of them have done. Krupa is still doing it, and I'm sure for Ashka, MBA is equally tough. So that's how it works. Now let's look at a lot of questions. I will take questions from one place. I will not look at the chat box now because chat box, the questions are just pouring in. Use Q&A. It will be easier because once I answer the question, I will close it so I know I have already done it. Okay, so let's move to Q&A. Do not post in chat box, please. Okay, quickly, I'll take one question at a time. I have my chat box full here. Okay. Uh, can we do BCom honors then MBA is good or BBA then MBA is good? Which UG option is good? Uh, Ashka, if you would like to take this up, and I
Sure.
will give my perspective later.
So I think there is both of them will, won't make any a huge difference for you, either BCom or BBA. Although I've seen a lot more BBA graduates in MBA because that is how they've planned that we'll do our BBA and then our masters in the same field. But it won't usually make a huge difference. If I'm talking very specifically about BCom in from NMIMS and BBA from NMIMS, if you want to pursue your MBA later, I would suggest you do your BBA because there's a flow to it. You get a certain flow in terms of your subjects, but other than that, there's not a huge difference in both.
I would completely agree to that. Monica, if you're looking forward possibly doing MBA, so any of you students here who is looking forward to do MBA, let me tell you that there is no specific route or path for an MBA. You can do BCom and then MBA, you can do BBA then MBA, you can do liberal arts then MBA, you can do economics graduate and then MBA, BA, BCom, BBA, BFM, BBI, BAF, BMF, all the possible degrees, undergraduate degrees. सब रास्ते एमबीए के तरफ बराबर जाते हैं सो देर इज नथिंग कि डिफिकल्ट क्या होगा और क्या इजी होगा इट इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव okay so it could be a possibility that a BBA student would have a difficulty doing an MBA but a BCom student will do it smoothly. It is all very subjective but the path is any path you can choose, you would be able to reach MBA. Either you give CAT or any other entrance exam. Somebody has asked me in the chat box while I was going through that, ma'am, do we have to give an entrance test for UG and PG separately? Yes. If you want to get into NMIMS, for UG BBA, there is a NPAT, NPAT. Okay, that's a different entrance exam. For PG, for a MBA course, there is NMAT, NMAT. Okay, that's the courses what you will have to do if you want to get into NMIMS. Another question, can you please explain the admission process briefly, starting from the entrance exam till your PI and your personal advice to prepare for PI and group discussion? Okay. Shaurya, firstly, if you are applying for NMIMS and if it's a UG program like a BBA or a BSc Finance, BSc Eco, Liberal Studies, BBA FinTech, any of these courses, even there's a list of course, but any of the course in NMIMS, if you're looking at, you will have to appear for their entrance test, which is called NPAT, okay, which I just mentioned. Now, good part, there is no PI, there is no personal interview. Liberal studies school might take a personal interview, but you don't really have to prepare for that. You will just be introducing yourself and speaking about your profile there. There is no difficult, thing which is happening there. But there is no PI. So you don't have to worry about PI. If you're appearing for other institutes like an IIM or something, that's when we will be able to speak about it. I have placements question. I will take them later, but I hope the previous question which has been asked, there's answered. Off campus projects and hands on experience. Uh, Ashka, if you would be able to help us in regards with the off campus project and what kind of projects you have got when you were in NMIMS.
So off campus, really, we've done only internships. That is something that you get in undergrad. There are certain projects that you can do, but not a lot of people have that bandwidth to do those projects along with your undergraduation, that is BBA. So I think there's a compulsory internship between your second and the third year. That is, the college also helps you with internship, getting an internship, as well as you can get it from outside. And during your BBA, see, personally, I would suggest that if you want to do some other activities, um, you can be a part of certain clubs and societies, and then, you know, follow up on certain events. But in terms of corporate projects and internships, you get a second to third year ke beech mein one internship. And other than that, see, because we're being an undergrad student, there are not a lot of opportunities or areas for huge corporate projects. That's something that they might not prefer for undergrad students, but you can still keep looking for it if you have the time. But do not jeopardize your college studies or your college activities for something that you're doing outside of college, especially in your third year, because third year is very hectic.
Okay,
Yeah.
so very detailed. Krupa, what is the existing situation like when it comes to uh, internships is concerned, when it comes to outside projects is concerned?
As far as outside projects, I would like to put it as the projects which would add value to your CV. So there are certain professors who really help you with that. Like if your core is finance, then you can approach the professors who teach finance subjects. You can ask them that, what project should I do which would help me as an addition to the CV or my skills. So they'll suggest you certain methods, to study certain not softwares really, but certain type of methods which are actually used. So that is one thing which you can do. You can do research papers. There are opportunities where you can publish your research paper. So that is one other opportunity about off campus projects. And about internships, so you can do now it has been also made mandatory to do an internship after your first year, but it's an NGO internship. Like, you have to work with an NGO, and then you have to write a report about your work done there. But people, like, I have done a corporate internship as well after my first year, and an NGO internship as well. So that is one thing, like, you get the period of 2 months between the years, like first year and second year, you get a summer vacation of 2 months. So that is the time when you actually add value, add skills, increase your skill sets, and etc.
All right. So that's about the internship. I think that was very perfectly kind of explained to the students. Now let's take the next question. Other than the NPAT exam, what other factors will help guarantee exam admission? Nothing but the NPAT. NPAT is the only way. There is no there is no other way. So start preparing now. If you guys have not started preparing, there are a lot of options to prepare for entrance exam. You can take self learning options, you can go online, you can take classroom programs. A lot of them are available. Okay, let's take the next question. How many hours have you spent in NMIMS campus? So what the classroom, as in the lecture timings are, what time the college starts and what time the college ends? Kripa.
Okay, so like my college timing for first year was from 12:30 to 5:30. There are four lectures, and then there are extra lectures after that. Like extra lectures are during the end of the sem. So there are extra lectures at that time. So basically there are four lectures from 12:30 to 5:30, and from second year, like for the second and third year, your college timing changes. It's from 7:30 to 12:10. Again, four lectures. So that is the college timing.
Okay, so that's the college timing. We have other questions. I hope that answers the question. What type of clubs are in NMIMS? So Krupa, you're the one who is current student, so please help us with what kind of clubs do NMIMS have?
Also, one thing I would like to add is that from this year they have started following the new education policy. So according to that, the timings and the subjects have been a little modified. So I guess for first years it's from 12:30 to 3:30, and then there are additional subjects or something like that. But it's pretty much the same. It's not a drastic change or anything. And as of to answer the second question, what are the clubs? So there are like a lot of clubs. I guess there will be like more than 10, 12 clubs. And I think it accommodates people with all kind of interests. Like if you're interested in tech, technology or something, there is tech club. If you're interested in socializing or something like that, there are a lot of clubs. Like for example, a college fest called Vayu. So we have Vayu of NMIMS. So that is there. Then there is Rotract Club of NMIMS. Then there is Rotract Club. Rotract, I said it. Then there is SRF, which is Social Responsibility Forum. There is Enactus Nature's Club. Then CIC is there, Corporate Interface Cell. There is Montage. Montage is a cultural club basically, which involves dance, music, and everything of that. So there is clubs for every sort of person, or a person who is interested in a lot of things. So a lot of opportunities are available.
Okay, so a lot of opportunities are available. Ashka, from your perspective, clubs, being a part of the clubs, because this is something which is kind of an important aspect of a campus life. With a list of campus, the committees or the clubs which are available with the NMIMS, want to understand what exactly, how does it helps students? And, if you can possibly shed some light as how exactly is the growth pattern or what exactly is the benefit?
Sure. See, initially joining clubs according to your hobbies is very important, not just how beautiful it will look on the CV. Because if you enter just for the CV, that means that you won't give your 100%. You're not interested. You're doing your college. After that, also, you're doing things just for the sake of it. Doesn't make sense at all. Choose a club which is of your interest, and then actually working in it does give you an edge. So I was the vice president of one of the clubs, and I think that has given me a lot of edge in terms of CV, which means that I have something to tell my MBA interviewer or my job interviewer that, see, I was a part of this club. This is the team that I've managed. These are the events that I have organized. So it gives the interviewer a sense of your sportsmanship. It gives them a sense that you are a part of the team, be it for a job or be it for MBA. So it does definitely give you an edge in your CV. And along with your CV, it also enhances your own time in college as well as in Mumbai. It gives you a great socializing activity, socializing opportunity, and it does keep you busy throughout the day. So that, and there's a sense of fulfillment and achievement after, you're not just giving your exams and in college, but there's this sense that, I was a part of something this great. So yeah, it does definitely help.
Fantastic. I think a very clear understanding of clubs. What kind of clubs are there? How exactly NMIS functions club, and to getting a perspective from a student who have done it all and how exactly it has helped. Okay. Now, a lot of you are asking questions on placement. I mean, every next question I can see is on placement, and I don't want to kind of wait any further and because we have tapped onto everything. Okay, but something very important, I think a lot of you have not really asked, is about the attendance criteria. Okay, so Krupa, what is the attendance percentage required from the students?
Okay, very crucial question. So the attendance is like 80% is mandatory, which also means that so there are 60 lectures which are conducted for every subject. So out of the 60 lectures, you have the leeway of missing 12 lectures, which will amount to your 80%. So you can miss 12 lectures per subject. So that is a leeway which you get. And as far as attendance is concerned, it is mandatory, but it is mandatory because if you miss the lectures, you miss a lot of content which is taught. So, and it really affects, like, obviously you can get the notes from your friends and things, but the things which you hear firsthand from the professors and the things which get passed on to you are makes a huge difference. So I guess there is a reason why they have kept a strict attendance policy or the criteria. So yes, that's pretty much it.
So attendance is important, very much important. With attendance, a lot of you are asking one question repeatedly: mathematics. Okay, mathematics is the eligibility criteria. So if you guys want to appear for certain programs with NMIMS, you have to have maths. BBA, BCom, BCom ANF, which is accountancy and finance, BSc finance, BBA fintech, and BSc economics. There are 6 programs. If you want to appear in either of the programs, mathematics is important. उसके बगैर आप entrance नहीं दे पाओगे, वो subject के लिए आप apply नहीं कर पाओगे. Okay, and a lot of you are asking if NPAT is harder or set. Set is more based on the verbal, and there is GK section as well. NPAT is more quant heavy. Okay, so however you are prepared, I think depends upon that you would find it easy or hard. Uh, what are the subjects which are there in BBA? Before we move to placement, this one last particular academic question. So Uh, Krupa, can you help us with what are the subjects you have learned in the first year?
Okay. So the subjects change every semester, but the core remains the same, that there will be few subjects of finance, there will be a subject of mathematics related to mathematics, there will be a subject related to your economics, there will be a subject related to your marketing aspect. So, and there will be a subject which is little lighter, which enhances your soft skills and all of that. So what subjects I had was, I have learned macroeconomics in second semester, microeconomics in first semester. There was cost accounting, then financial accounting, then in quantitative technique, there was quantitative techniques part 1, part 2, effective communication. There is CSR, which is a theory subject. There is management subject, principles of management, principles of marketing. For the first year, as Ashka previously mentioned, you have somewhere already like you have somewhere idea of what the subjects are. You have learned it previously. You have a little bit hang of what is being taught. But as far as the second year is concerned, the third and the fourth semester, the subjects are completely new to you. Like now I'm learning subjects which are more industry based. which are a lot practical. There now I'm learning Indian economics in global scenario. There is financial statement analysis, operational research, retail management, um, huh, tax, indirect and direct tax. So these are the subjects. So yes, you basically get an overall view of economics, mathematics, accounting, management. So it's a holistic course.
It's a holistic course and a lot of subjects. Ashka, what exactly becomes the subjects in the later years, if you would be able to cover that for the students?
So in the later years, in the third year, you have an option between choosing finance and marketing as your specialization. And then eventually your subjects center down to those, along with one or two more subjects, including economics and the soft skill subjects mentioned. And uh, then eventually when you move forward, I think what you learned in your second year and third year helps a lot for any further subjects that you're pursuing in MBA, or if you're joining a corporate and getting a job, even then those subjects are definitely helpful.
Okay. Now, a lot of you are asking about, the placement. So I have two sections which I feel I have not really covered, which I was going to cover now. First is the hostel. Okay. And the second is the placement. So these two questions before we wrap the episode today. Let's talk about the hostel, because NMIMS University doesn't really have anything as a campus or a hostel as such. A lot of you are asking what are the accommodations which are available. Ashka, you are from Ahmedabad. I think you are the best person to answer the question for them. So would you be able to please take up this particular question?
Sure. So NMIMS has its own hostel facilities, at least for girls. There's a host. It's not very near to the campus, but it is the NM hostel. And you can apply there. Other than that, around NMIMS, there are so many hostels and accommodations available. So you can choose two paths. You can either stay in a hostel. There are certain hostels, or let's say if I want to give you names, you guys can go online and search for hostels around NMIMS. You'll get so many names and they're all good. There are two three major chains of hostels. They're good. You can get your accommodation there. There's NMIMS hostel. And third, I know a lot of people who take PGs or flats, that is rent out flats between 4 to 5. If it's a 2 BHK, four people stay, rent out a flat and then stay there as if you're staying in a proper flat, not hostel. So these are one, two options that you guys can look for, and there are a number of flats available for rent around NMIMS. So there is no need to worry about it. If you're looking for flats, go find good brokers or contacts who can get you good flats on rents. And secondly, if you're looking for hostels, go online. You'll get two, three major chains of hostels, and you can call them and get all the details.
Wow, I think very detailed. Krupa, do you have anything to add here?
Uh, I mean, she pretty much summed up whatever I wanted to say. There is no need to worry about accommodation, and I guess it's personal preference. Like if you go on hostel, there will be its pros and cons. You have restrictions, but you don't have to worry about all the other stuff like cooking and your electricity bill and this and that. But when you're in a flat, you get to choose the people which you live with. You have the freedom, and but the con is that you have to do all your work. You have to do your own laundry. You have to take care of the maintenance or the cooking part, cleaning part, and everything else.
Okay. So eventually, to each its own again. If you're looking at doing, a PG, you can do the PG accommodation. Otherwise, there are flats as well available. NMIMS as a campus, Mumbai campus, it's filled, it's just surrounded by a lot of accommodations. And it will be very you can just walk around, just if while you will explore the area, you would find a lot of accommodations. Okay. Now let's address the elephant in the room, which is about placement. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes, Ash.
Yes.
Yes, Krupa. Go ahead.
So like one major reason why people don't want to choose NMIMS is the campus, as we all have addressed it many times here. But I would like to add that I completely agree that there is no campus and campus life in NMIMS, but there are so many things to do around college. Like the college is an area where there are a lot of things. Like it's in somewhere in Juhu only. So you have so many cafes and there is so much to do around the college. There are so many concerts, stand-up comedies. There are college fest happening every now and there is so much around the college to do, and so much to explore during the weekends that you never feel the need ki we should we're getting bored here or something like that. There is always something which you're yet to explore. So that
So
is
it's one
one
of the
thing.
happening places, is what Krupa,
Yes,
what
yes.
Krupa is telling, that it's one of the happening places, which is
Yes.
Juhu Ville Parle. Now let's, uh, address the elephant in the room, which is placement. Everybody wants to understand placement. Okay. So, uh, Krupa, the placement starts from the second year, or does it start from the third year? As in, how do you start preparing for it?
So basically, for after your second year is complete and you get a summer vacation period, during that you have to do a corporate internship in whichever field you want to go ahead. And for that corporate internship, college helps you. The placement cell from the college helps you for that. So you have to prepare your CV, you have to get registered with the placement cell and everything. Like recently, we had Goldman Sachs for the internship, for the 2 months internship. So they had come up with the position of investment banking and operations with a stipend of 30,000 per month for 2 months after the second year. So they had that aptitude test and everything which happened. Interviews also happened, I guess, yesterday only it got wind up. So for the corporate internship, the things start from the second year, and for the placement, it starts from the third year.
Okay.
So yes.
Right. Now, the placement starts from the third year. Somebody has experienced placements here. Ashka, can you please help us? What happens on the other side when you sit for placement, and how exactly the process goes?
So basically, when you're sitting for your placements, you have to apply. You need to make your CV, tell the placement cell that we're interested in the placement. So, as and when the companies come along, you apply to those companies. Now, when I talk about companies, uh, there are a number of companies that come for placements at NMIMS. That's why it has a name. Uh, Good companies. I know a few companies. I think one or two companies from Big Four comes.
Yes.
A lot of marketing companies come. So there are certain companies coming from operations, data analytics. So whatever field that you're interested in, especially the specialization that you've taken in your third year, you'll definitely get an exposure to the companies. There won't be any time that your specialization companies are not coming in. Uh, and you need to sit through the whole process. There might be 2 3 rounds for each companies. There might be one round for a few companies. It depends, very subjective, company to company. And these companies look at certain things, that is what you your CGPA, your internship, your corporate internship. And now that Rupa has mentioned about their social internship, of course they'll ask you questions on what you've done in your social internships also, between your first and the second year. And they'll base your job on whatever you've done in your 3 years. So make sure that you utilize your 3 years, enhance your CV academically as well as extracurricularly. And the companies come, so there's no need to worry that the placements won't be good enough. Good companies come with good stipends. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of things to worry about. The placement cells help you, the professors help you whenever you need help.
Okay. When we talk, Ashka, when we talk about stipend, that good companies come with good stipend, what exactly number we are looking at for stipend?
So my placements were 2 years ago, so I am not very sure about the numbers currently. But on an average, if you look at the numbers, the average stipend was, I think, around 10, 11.
Okay, 10
I
till
mean,
11K.
yeah.
Kripa, have you heard any more numbers than this?
So 10,
Oh,
11 lakhs per annum is what I'm talking about.
Okay, 10,
8,
11 lakhs. Okay,
yes, 8. You can count a range between 7 to 10
7 to 10.
on an
Okay,
average, yes.
on an average. Kripa, what have you heard?
so as per the recent report, so last year the highest was, I guess, 14 or 15 something
16.
for
16.65 to be precise. I
ha
know it because
for
I've been working on the report, looking at the report. 16.65 2023 placement, highest.
but on average, now see, honestly, the highest placement goes to like one or maybe two or three people. That also people who have like very, very good CV, like those who have done a lot of internships, have a lot of knowledge about their field. And usually, I guess it's for the investment banking sector only, the highest placement. Apart from that, the average package ranges around, as she mentioned, 11, 10, 11, 9, 8, around this. I guess
Okay.
6 is, I mean, 6 is what you can expect 6.
Okay.
Minimum you can expect 6. And also,
Minimum you
like,
can expect 6. Yeah,
also
correct.
one thing to add is it's not going to be easy. Like, getting placements from college is not going to be easy at all. You have to really, really, really put a lot of efforts in the three years. And it's not only about, the CGPA, it's more about what extra you have done apart from the college. I mean, we all say that course is outstanding, the subjects taught and everything is amazing here, but apart from that you have to also build on yourself, your skills and your CV, so as to get a preference in the placements. Because CGPA, everyone gets good CGPA, not everyone practically, but those who appear for placements, a lot of them get good CGPA. So you have to really stand out in order to get a really good package. And to be honest, the placement rate, it's not like everyone gets the placement. A company comes out of 2,000 students, it's hardly selects a few of them. Mass recruiters, like, they come very rarely, or even one or two companies come for mass recruitment. And now, given the like the Indian scenario of employment, it's going to
It's
be
difficult.
a tough nut to
It's okay,
crack.
but I'm sure students would be able to kind of, make decisions according to the options
Yes,
they
yes.
would get. I'm getting a lot of questions here, which is related to BBA and MBA. Okay. Now, somebody has asked me a question here, which is, where did the question go? What would you say that if that with a BBA and an MBA, one has a good job opportunities, or is that not enough? Ashka, I think you would be able to answer this perfectly.
Um, MBA is a stepping stone to a better job, definitely. But MBA is originally meant for people who have a little bit of work ex, work for 2, 3 years in the industry and want to then enhance their practical skills. So it is very subjective. That is, if you want to work for a few years, then join an MBA definitely. But MBA helps in getting a better job, undoubtedly. It is a stepping stone. It's the next path towards getting a better job. But if you're doing your BBA plus MBA, it depends on which field you're doing it. I would suggest that there are certain other courses also that you pursue with your BBA and MBA. For example, I am in finance and I'm doing my CFA, which is Charter of Financial Accounting. And in my so that is something to enhance my own CV. I'm doing to enhance my own CV. I want to get into investment banking and he'll help me. If you're in marketing, there are certain other courses done by international universities. So that is something that will help you to get a better job. It is enough. You'll definitely get a job with a BBA, MBA, as in if you have like a good resume, but you can always do better in any case. So yeah.
Okay, so it is something which will definitely be helping you. And when it comes to a BBA or an MBA is concerned, BBA plus MBA, MBA will only enhance, you know, uh, enhance the whole process for you. So, yes, it will definitely be helpful. We have covered as many questions as we can. Okay. Would, just wanted to understand if this particular session has helped you guys. Okay, so just a quick raise of hand would be fine for me to understand. Was it helpful? It is helpful. Great. Perfect. Perfect. It is making me happy. Yes. A quick, survey is what I've asked for. Quickly, yes, no. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. A lot of you feel that this particular session was helpful and it really means a lot. As you guys requested at the start, a lot of you have questions. Uh, I would be able to answer all these questions for you. All right. So make sure a lot of questions what you have, even a mentor in IMS mentor would be able to help you out in your my plan. So my suggestion is the questions which I'm not able to take, because we have to respect the time for our speakers as well. I have requested them for an hour, and Ashka have left her, MBA studies, and kind of, for an hour she has taken out time, and so did Krupa. So we have a very strict time limit here, so I would have to kind of wrap it up. But all your questions I will be more than happy to take. uh, Check with your mentor in case if you want to connect with me. You can always email to me. I will put up my email address here, and we will make sure that your questions are answered. Also, if you are looking forward to prepare for NPAT, you can also get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to assist you with it. Okay. With this, I shall take your, leave. Thank you so much, Krupa and Ashka, for joining us today, giving us some, a complete round, holistic perspective of what BBA and MIMS consist, how is it helping, and how it is going to help students post that. It was very informative. It was very helpful. Thank you, and you have a lovely day.
Thank you
All the
so
best.
much.
You.
Best of luck to everybody.
Yes. Best of luck to everyone, and don't forget to enjoy your college life along with your studies. Okay. Bye.
Okay, see you guys. Bye.
Bye bye.